subscribe to this YouTube channel. I don't know why in the world you cannot do that. And I'm mandating that you do it now. Do it now. Do it now, brother. Do it now, sister. I mean, some of the things I share here are life-changing, literally life-changing, and you don't get to pay for it. So the least you can do is to at least participate here. Go a step further. Click the bell button until you see the parentheses, so you'll be notified every time I am live. And also, please like this video. Liking this video helps the algorithm so that YouTube will show this video to even more people. So welcome. How was your day? I want to give a few shout outs. So I want to say hello to Wumi Salau. I want to say hello to Sotonye Alfred. I want to say hello to Lucy Obehi, Chantel say, is it just a coincidence? Is it just me, or are there more ladies here today? All right. I'm just saying, maybe it's a coincidence, Hello, G Reborn. And by the way, I'm not giving you my denim. All right. So, Nkem, how are you? David Ademuyiwa, how are you? Good to see everyone of you. Please tell everyone, especially singles, that we're live now. I mean, how much chalk hold can your village people have on you? You are single, then you are missing a free session like this. Come on, no be juju be that. So help someone, deliver someone, and send this. In fact, I want to give you a few seconds. Send this link to a few people. Send, all those WhatsApp groups, Telegram groups that disturb you with links. This is your time to retaliate. Bombard them. What? Send them this link. Send it to your family. Your parents will be wondering, hey, we're married. We've been married for years. Still send it. It's time for your revenge. Go ahead. So send it. Free ad, by the way. This shirt I'm wearing is by Gerd. They didn't ask me to do this, but I just want to do it, and the symbol I have on it, guess what it is? Those of you who failed mathematics in WAEC, you don't know what this is, but don't worry. And that's a clue. So I've told you it's a mathematics symbol. Some of you probably thought this is a musical symbol. Well, it's not. So, by the way, if you've been wondering the date for the release of the album Apostolos, the answer is on my shirt. That's all I'm going to say. Let me see if there's any smart person who can get it. This is the release date for Apostolos. So tell me, when do you think that is? When do you think that is? I'm looking for the first person who will get it. When do you think that is? When do you think that is? This is the release date for Apostolos. Oh my God, I'm waiting. Who's going to get this first? Who's going to get this? Has anyone got it? Oh my God. Nah, this is taking forever. I think they are minutes behind, so they've not even heard what I said yet. I'm waiting. And listen, I'm using all of this to while away time so that you can invite more people to join us. All right. So I said this symbol on my shirt gives you a clue regarding the release date for Apostolos. What date is that? What date is that? All right. I've seen an answer, but I want to be sure the person knows exactly. Okay. I'm waiting for someone to. You see what some of you are doing? You didn't pass maths because you did not show your working. You just put the answer. If you put 22/7, that's half mark. Show your working. 22/7. What is that? I think the chats are coming in a lot later, so we're gonna have to wait. Show your working. 22 22nd of July. There you have it, Matthew Adigbile. Smart guy. I'm sure you had C4 in mathematics at least. Just teasing. Anyways, so yeah, let's cut to the chase. There's 710 of you on this channel right now. I want to thank you for being a part of this. Listen, the next time I have a YouTube live and I want to talk about Bible and I don't see you, angels will pursue you. Angels will pursue you. Anyway, no problem. But anyways, let's just get right into it. So the title of this live one more time is How to Know He Loves You. How to Know He Loves You. I want to start with a story I heard from a man of God many years ago. He said there was this Christian who went for a personal retreat at Hawaii. And right on the beach, the Lord began to speak to him and said, "Son, I'm very proud of you. I want to do something very special for you. Ask me one special thing that I can do for you." And he says, "God, I'm very glad you asked, because I've just been thinking of how to get from here back to New York in the fastest possible time. Can you build a bridge right from this Hawaii beach to New York so I can return to New York using that bridge, and then come here anytime I want?" And God said, "What kind of ridiculous question is that? What do I look like, Julius Berger? Am I a construction company? Ask for something else." And he said, okay, oh God, I think I know what I want to ask for. Can you give me the skill to understand every woman? And then when he said that, there was a long pause. And he said, "God, are you there?" And God said, "How many lanes do you want on the bridge?" So apparently, the joke is supposed to mean, for some of you who might not get it, the joke is supposed to mean that women are so complicated that God will rather build you a bridge from Hawaii all the way to New York City than give you all the magic that is required to understand every woman on the face of the earth. I said that to say this. This YouTube channel, this particular YouTube live is going to be a lot more straightforward, because when it comes to a topic like last week's topic, how to understand a woman or how to know a woman is attracted to you, then you need all the tricks and all the skills and all those coded things, because women, they know how to say 10 things without saying one thing. But guys are a lot more straightforward. You see, and that's something that a lot of women don't understand. They come to you as a guy, you're watching the TV, and they look at you and say, "What's on your mind?" Usually when a guy's watching TV, he's watching TV. Men are better at compartmentalizing. Women have like a spaghetti way of thinking. Someone described it that way. One thought is connected to another, so there's one train of thought, leading to another and another, and it's just an endless stream of connected thoughts. But a guy is usually in the moment, okay? So there are many reasons why ladies say many things without saying anything. First and foremost, because culturally, and I dare say even biblically, men are supposed to be the one to do the chasing. So when a woman is interested in you, she finds a way to hint you without telling you verbatim. All right, and that's why you now need a YouTube live to understand all the coded talk, like see your big head, When a woman begins to give you all those subtle jab, what you might think is an insult. Now, man, you're making progress. You see, you're not doing bad at all. When she says, "This one we are playing like this, don't let your girlfriend break my head," she is stylishly trying to ask, "Do you have a girlfriend? Is there space for me?" And all of that. But listen. Media team, zoom in closer for a bit, just to be dramatic. You zoom out. Listen, let me tell you something. When it comes to guys, the way to know he likes you? If he unequivocally, clearly, without circumlocution, tells you, "I like you." Listen, that's the end of this life. If that's the only thing you pick, you've got it. You see? Very simple. Very straightforward. Don't say I didn't tell you. It doesn't matter what he does. the signals that he gives, the coded language, what you interpret to be subtle communication, if he doesn't clearly, unequivocally tell you, call your name and say, I like you. And not just that, it goes a step further to prove it consistently, then he doesn't like you. Assume that he doesn't. Listen, guys are straightforward and guys are go-getters. If he likes you, chances are he's going to pursue you. It's only in rare cases there are some people who are just shy. But sometimes even what you define as shyness is a guy who has not really made up his mind. All right? So please bear that in mind. All right? In fact, if that's the only thing that you get from this, you've gotten a lot already. But now, it becomes a lot more precarious when a guy tells you he likes you, but you want to know for sure that he does, because not everybody who says I like you actually does. I'm sure some of you know that from experience. So that's what this YouTube live will be centered around. Okay, yeah, he has said he likes me. He's coming around. He's showing interest. How then can I know that he's for real? How can I tell that he really likes me? Let me say this. First and foremost, some of you probably didn't notice that there's a difference, a very noticeable difference between the topic from last week and the topic this week. Last week we said how to know she's attracted to you. This week we said how to know he likes you. Because let me tell you something. If you're talking about attraction for guys, every Tom, Dick, Harry, and Bingo, the choice of names were very intentional, will be attracted to you. That's a fact, so it has to be deeper than attraction. Listen, for ladies, all right, attraction, especially sexual attraction, has more often than not has a lot to do with their love. That's how they show love. But a guy can get there, do that, and there's nothing. It was just about the sex. So you have to understand this. First and foremost, this is a Christian channel, and I want to believe that every Christian under the sound of my voice understands that the bed is meant to be left undefiled before marriage. Listen, it doesn't really matter how popular these things are. The standard of the Lord stands sure, and everyone who names the name of Christ should depart from iniquity. I just want to make that unequivocally clear. And I can give you 1,001 reasons why even what is biblically required makes practical, logical sense. If at the dating phase, you're already touching and doing all those things, you stand more chances, practically, of that relationship breaking up. God is so wise. And many times, his principles are not to restrict us. His principles are to make us better. So bear that in mind. But hey, let's cut to the chase now. How to know that he likes you. Number one, his compliments aren't always physical. I know you like it when maybe a guy says, the shape of your nose, it seems like it was, carved in the best ivory, making company, and all of that. You like, your neck reminds me of the Eiffel Tower. You like all those kind of scoop. But I want to say this. Whilst that might be okay, here and there, if that's all that he notices about you, it just might well be a red flag. I learned this from, what's this man of God's name? There's this Christian relationship coach now. I think his name is Stefan or something. A great guy, great content, okay? All right. So now, there has to be more to that, okay? So what else has he noticed about you? Let me tell you something. It will be a great sign that you are, in the right hands, let me put it that way, when he says, I like the way you think. I like the way you I like how committed you are to your career. I like the way you make decisions. So when he notices something else about you, that says a lot. Because let me tell you this. When it is centered around sex, oh my God, you will be very deluded. Because let me say this. A guy will pretend, go to church, do anything to get your back on his bed, and he will imitate all the symptoms of a genuine love situation, but just to get your back on his bed. So listen to me, please, about the surest way to test the sincerity of the motives is to take sex out of the picture. Take it out the way and see what's left. If everything crumbles, So let me say this. This is one perfect way to just sieve the wolves from the sheep, In fact, the first step I gave you, is very powerful. And this one, you can as well just close your window now, because that's it. Because most times, guys who are not serious, the moment you just shut the door of the conversation regarding sex and they see they are not making a headway, they begin to post you. They are no longer interested in dates. They were enthusiastic about seeing you, but now, they're giving excuses because the moment you say you're not interested in sex, now they don't want to see you because it was really about the sex. And they begin to avoid you. And they even get irritable, or just whimsically bring out flimsy, occasions for quarreling. All right? So bear that in mind. This is very, very important. This is one important key. See, let me say something to you. A guy will cross 7 oceans, climb 1,000 mountains to get your back on his bed. Some of you know what I'm saying. Don't play games. As long as sex is even in the conversation, as long as some overly flirtatious conversations are even permitted, it's very difficult to test the sincerity of the motives. Very, absolutely. The difficulty, it can't be overemphasized, all right? So bear this in mind, okay? Let me say this. I want to read a story to you. Some of you know the story, a very touching story in 2 Samuel chapter 13, verse 4. So this guy, Ammon, was in love with a lady named Tamar. He said he was in love. In fact, the Bible says he was in love. 2 Samuel 13, from verse 4. He says, from verse 1, it says he loved her. All right? Not just did he love her, he loved her so much, he fell sick. These are the things when you're watching Nollywood movies, say, forget it. He's in love with you. See the way he has lost weight, oh. Pity him now, say yes. Hey! Sister! And here's the thing. Some of us ladies, unfortunately, we come from dysfunctional homes. We're not used to hearing I love you. And so when someone comes, not just holding red flags, wearing red flag, we still just walk in this self-delusion that maybe there is some iota of truth in it. I'm begging you. It doesn't really matter how sincere he sounds, how sincere he looks. There are some things that, jeopardize the whole thing. And in fact, let me tell you this. Some guys even truly believe they're in love. They truly believe. And you save them from that self-delusion by, number one, removing sex. Just remove sex first. Put it aside. See if he can keep a conversation. Just tell him, you know what? I appreciate all your compliments. I like your eyes. When I look into your eyes, it looks like I'm falling into a well that has no bottom. Thank you, sir. Thank you, Shakespeare. Can we have any other conversation? When it's not about sex and the lyrics has ended, run. I don't know how to, I don't know, I'm out of superlatives to emphasize this. So Ammon was so-called, I mean, supposedly so in love, he fell sick. He fell sick. And so his friend came, gave him some bad advice, and then you know what happened. Now, this guy who was supposedly in love pinned this lady to the ground and raped her. Let me just use this opportunity to say this. If you're a guy and you force yourself on ladies, not only will God punish you, I pray that you get caught and that you spend some quality time behind bars, behind fellow criminals like yourself. Amen, in Jesus' name. So I just want to move on. I just want to say this. Let me say this. Social media might have lied to you. Movies might have lied to you. You know, there's one silly thing that I see in movies. A lady is just looking at you in the eye and you assume that means she's saying, kiss me. And so you see it in the movies many times. After just few moments of staring at each other, then you just start kissing. If you try it, anyway, first and foremost, you have no business, trying stuff like that if you're unmarried, So please be very careful about things like this. But yeah, back to the Ammon and Tamar story. So he pinned her to the ground and raped her. And all of a sudden, listen, I've heard too many stories. This happens all the time. You see, it is after an ejaculation that a man really knows. Please, this is for adults, all right? So I don't know. So I want to, these things have to be said. That a man's sincere motives are revealed. A man is most aware of his motives after an ejaculation. That's where your eye will clear, and all of that. And even psychologists say some things like when the man immediately wants to stand up and walk off, it just tells you, if he is more inclined to spending more time. Now, some guys just need to learn this also. This is for married people, but if he never once. Anyway, no need to say this. If you're already married, you have entered. So just get counseling. Anyways. But the reality is, when this guy who thought he was in love just moments before, he was so much in love, he fell sick. When he had his way, not only was he no longer in love, he hated her. He hated her. And here's the thing. Ladies like to deceive themselves. They think that by giving sex, then they are going to hold the guy down, make him more committed. But lust, when gratified, will only grow, will only become more obvious. The situation will only become more hopeless. Do you understand? If a guy doesn't love you, he doesn't love you. Simple, straightforward. All right? So make no mistake about that. And so this biblical story tells us, something that some of us might understand, by some real life stories that we've heard. If you give your back to someone, who is just after your body, that's where it's going to end. Number two, a guy who is truly interested in you, who truly likes you, would take initiative, to be around you, to spend time with you, And of course, like I said, this is nothing sexual. He just wants to spend time with you. He just wants to spend time with you. And let me say this. I know some guys can be married to their work. But if even 1 out of 10 times he's not the one who came up with an initiative, hey, let's see a movie. What are you doing? Hey, I want to take you out, If he never takes that initiative, that's a warning sign. That's a warning sign. And usually, if he's just after your body, the interest in taking that initiative will die immediately he discovers you're another type of girl. it will die. So, I mean, when he begins to take initiative to want to spend time with you, isn't, you see, that's something good. All right? That's something good. He's just interested in what you're doing. Number 3, and this is a dicey one because many times ladies take this to the extreme. But when a guy wants to make very important choices and he would ask you what you think, oh my God, that's a very, very powerful cue. When he says, hey, I want to know what you think about this, that's a very powerful cue. Unfortunately, many ladies, abuse this. They see it as an opportunity to control. And so when he doesn't do exactly what you want him to do, the way you want him to do it, you start saying, he doesn't listen to me. He doesn't listen to me. Listen. Especially when you're not married. We're talking about dating couples. It's a privilege. It's a privilege. And you see, even if he doesn't listen to you, that trust is built. You see, that trust is built. With time, I, for one, learned to listen to my wife because there are some things, if Nigerian says, this, I've just learned to listen, and there are some things I'm just, everybody has their strengths, you understand what I'm saying? All right, so, but at the end of the day, no matter what, if you care about the person, you always want to hear what they have to say. And that's a very, very heavy cue there. If he says, hey, what do you think about this? From things great and small. He wants to hear what you think about it. All right? Next, if he talks about his future with you, his plans, his aspirations. You see, rule of thumb is if he's not serious with you, he will keep the relationship as superficial as possible. He will hide information. Some of you know what I'm saying. He won't say anything. He will be giving you one-liners. He might not even tell you what he does. That's serious because he doesn't want you to know. But by the time he begins to share future plans, tell you this is where I am at, this is what I'm planning to do, these are my dreams. And then especially when he begins to ask for your own dreams, challenge you to do better, what he's trying to do is to build a future in his head and in his heart that accommodates both of you. And that's very powerful and very romantic, if I may add. All right, so that's something to look out for. Number 5, which is the most important, that he likes you. This is for those, of course, who have the feelings vice versa. You like him too, you have past talking stage, and all of that. That he likes you when he puts a ring on it. Oh, yes. That he likes you. Some guys start off with a lot of enthusiasm and energy. And along the way, sometimes they are using you to just occupy space. Some guys don't know how to be single. So they are using you to fill in that emotional void whilst they are waiting. You know what we call awaiting results. Some relationships are awaiting results. So they are using you to wait for the right person. And that's why all of a sudden the energy will just change. And they are wondering. So I just want to say this. Every dating phase is a proposal. It's meant to be, listen, we're meant to be men and women of our words. But I'm saying this for your own emotional stability. All right? Don't put too much power in the hands of other people, especially as a lady. Learn to match the energy. Please listen to me. Learn to match the energy. And this is a very important balance because you don't want to be doing below what he's doing, and you don't want to be doing significantly above what he's doing. Listen, I'm not saying, as a child of God, you should love everyone, but when it comes to just extra, some of you make it more precarious. Small toasting, you are already wearing matching clothes. I shall be doing his view, my 5 days relationship. you know, 5 days relationship. So sometimes the guy who was serious before has become afraid that which kind of wahala be this. so and all of that. Yeah, you're already so controlling and all of that. So there's that to match his energy, all right, and just let him take the lead, let him take initiative. There's a way to just set the ball rolling and allow him control the steering wheels, all right, and just that's like a conversation for another day. But I think this is very, very important, so that because at the end of the day, no matter how perfect you are, even Jesus was betrayed. You have to understand, this one comes with the package. Do you understand? Some of una too, they do harm. Sometimes you people, you people also break up with guys, abi? So once in a while, if they break your heart, you break a hair. So it happen. Sometimes, even the most well-meaning, well-intentioned people, stuff just happens and it doesn't just work out the way you planned. All right. So please bear that in mind and know that ultimately, without a shadow of doubt, when he puts a ring on it. Yeah. I hope you learned a thing or two. Please like this video, help the algorithm, let more people see it, let more people be blessed, and then we see you next time. God bless you. Thank you very much.